I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Ay, 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 I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and change it.
Good morning, students! So we will going to discuss the Unit 3 under Syllabus Design, Approaches, Elements, and Principles. Good morning, students! So before we proceed to our new lesson, may I request Mr. Lance to lead our prayer. Coming front, Mr. Lance. Amen. So, for today, we will going to discuss what is syllabus design. But before we proceed to our lesson, who among you remember what our discussion yesterday? Are you raising your hand, Ella? Very good. So what have you learned in our previous discussion, Ralph? Very good. So today, we will going to discuss the syllabus design. So as you can see in my instructional paper, instructional material, syllabus design is a contract, a roadmap, and a marketing opportunity. Are you wondering what are these meaning or phrases related to syllabus design? You raising your hand? Okay. Refrain from chorus, everyone. So, syllabus design is a contract. Why? Syllabus design is a basic contract between a student and a teacher. It is a document laying out the responsibilities and expectations of both learner and teacher. Syllabus design is a contract because it is designed to answer students' questions about your course as well as to inform them about course expectations. So students, what do the teacher provide before entering the class? Isn't it is a syllabus? Yes. Next is a roadmap. Why? Syllabus design is a roadmap that shows the general contour of the course, important milestone, and the landmarks that will let students know their road. It is like the objective. The objective. Why? Because in our objective, we can determine what is important and it is not important in this course. Right? Next is a marketing opportunity. Are you raising your hand, Buffer? Marketing, it is not related to simply like selling, buying, but it is a marketing opportunity to show the students just the great course that they will be. Yes. So this syllabus design has elements, approaches, and principles. But we will going to discuss that in our next discussion. Moreover, a syllabus has the power to do more than that. It can articulate connections between learning outcomes, assessment, contents, and pedagogical practice. So what is the root word of pedagogical? Amanda? Very good. So what is pedagogy, Andrea? Yes, a pedagogy is a way of teaching. It is the way the course is constructively aligned in guiding students through their learning. So next, according to Manby, in year 1984, he said that syllabus design is seen as a matter of specifying the content that needs to be taught and then organizing it into a teaching syllabus of appropriate learning units. So, according to him, it signifies that the syllabus design encompasses the whole process of designing a language program. Before we proceed to the approaches of syllabus design, who among you are aware of the importance of syllabus? You're raising your hand, Mr. Lance. Very Very good. It conveys information about expectation. How about you, Mr. Asher? Yes, exactly. It serves as an expression of our personal teaching philosophy, a way to motivate.
Grammatical Syllabus. Okay class, before I begin sharing my inputs, I want to ask you guys about the questions. Based on your research, what is Grammatical Syllabus? Okay, no one? Monica, please share your inputs to the class. Okay, your input is absolutely true. Anyone from the class have any other definition aside from Monica's? Okay, none. Let me share mine. Grammatical syllabus has been defined as one of which consists of a list of grammatical selected and graded in terms of simplicity and complexity. This is according to Notional 1988. Other author also says that grammatical syllabus is a synthetic approach. Other one is grammar is a liberating force. That is according to Cullen 2008. Basically class, grammatical syllabus is a structure of a language. Also, grammatical syllabus is the most common type of syllabus because it is the easiest type of syllabus. Can anyone from the class give a concrete example of this kind of syllabus? Okay, yes, Edgar. Very nice example of you, Edgar. Who else? Joey? Okay, that's good also. Any questions? Before moving to the next topic about grammatical syllabus? Okay, I guess there's none. Great. Let's move to the assumption behind grammatical syllabus. The assumption behind grammatical syllabus. Okay, first is language consists of a finite set of rules which can be combined in various ways to make a meaning. Okay, second, these grammatical rules can be learned one by one. In an additive fashion, each item can be mastered on its own and later incorporated into learners' pre-existing stock of knowledge. Third is principal purpose of language teaching is to help the learners crack the code. For example, to deduct the structural properties of a language, learn them, break, and incorporate them again. Lastly, the fourth one is once the learner has internalized the formal aspects of the target language, they will automatically be able to use it in genuine communication outside the classroom. That is all about the assumptions about grammatical syllabus. Moving on, okay class, I want you to find your partner and make a brief summary about our lesson, the grammatical syllabus. Okay, what a great input class. I'm glad you all understand. And because okay, as what I've said earlier, our next topic is about lexical syllabus. But before we begin, please bring out a one-half sheet of paper and list down all important words related to this kind of syllabus or to this type of syllabus. And don't worry, I will give an additional points for this one. I'll give you 10 minutes to finish. Okay, class? Okay, time is up. As I've said last meeting, make an advanced reading and jot down necessary information about our lesson for today. And I will pick 3 people to share their works. Let's start with Rachel, Phoebe, and Max. Very good. People, you did your part. Now, allow me to do my part also. Lexical syllabus is any verb that is not an auxiliary verb or, in the simplest form, helping verb. What is an auxiliary verb? Anyone from the class? Rory. Good. Basically, auxiliary verb is a verb that adds functional and grammatical meaning to the clause. Express tense, aspect, modality, voice, emphasis, and etc. as what Rory said earlier, it is usually the main verb, accompanied by an infinitive or a participle. Furthermore, lexical verbs are also used as the main verb. There are many linguistic issues that can be applied to lexical syllabus. For example, vocabulary related to topics, word, formation, compound items, connotations, denotations. The similarity between lexis and grammar makes difficult to create lexical syllabus because the designers may be confused in selecting an appropriate topic. In designing syllabus, here's the criteria: frequency, usefulness, relevance to the learner's world, and learning burden.
So another approach in syllabus design is functional notional approach. So what is functional notional approach? It is primarily based not on a linguistic analysis, but on an analysis of learners' social and vocational communicative needs. It is the classification of skill level should be based on what people want to do with the language or the function, or in terms of people wants to convey or the notion. There is two important words in functional notional syllabus, which is the function and the notion. So first, we need to discuss what is function. Function is some kind of communicative act. It is the use of language to achieve a purpose, usually involving interaction at least between two people. Some of the functions of language are to generate ideas, to build relationships, to elicit response, to greet, invite, apologize, and many more. The second one is notion. So what is notion? It is the meaning elements that may be expressed through the nouns, pronouns, verb, preposition, conjunction, adjectives, or adverb. A notion is a concept or idea. It may be specific like dog, cat, or house. And it may be general, like for example is time, size, emotion, movement, in which case it often overlaps with the concept of topics. And another one is a notion may be time past, include past tense and phrases like last week, 2000, and so on. Lastly, it is a temporary clauses beginning with when, before, and after. What are the advantages of functional notional syllabus? So there is 4 perspectives in advantages of functional notional syllabus, which are the social-linguistic perspective, linguistic perspective, educational perspective, and linguistic perspective. So what is here in the social-linguistic perspective? It tries to set fairly realistic language for learners to learn. It intends to offer everyday real-world language. It recognizes that the speaker must have a real purpose for speaking and something to talk about. Next one is the linguistic perspective, which is the oral and written communication, which means is to help learners at each level acquire knowledge, and also they will have the ability to use this in actual communication. Next is the educational perspective. Teachers exploit sound in psycholinguistic, sociolinguistic, linguistic, and educational principles. And also, educational perspective provides a widespread promotion of foreign language. It means that it helps learners to gain more knowledge about using language in different language courses. And lastly is the psycholinguistic perspective. It is often arranged in different levels and needs of the target learners. It means that teachers should encourage students to talk about their opinions and ideas. There is also this advantage of this functional notional syllabus. So there are 3 perspectives of this functional notional syllabus, which are the course design perspective, nature of language perspective, and language teaching and learning perspective. In this course design perspective, The idea of function and notion is not clearly definable as it is thought to be. Next one is the nature of language perspective. Communication does not just refer to language, function, and notions. And lastly, language teaching and learning perspective. Grammatical structure elicited by the function and notions that appear in unsystematically ordered. This may lead to low grammatical competence of the learners. Next approach in syllabus design is situational syllabus. It is the collection of real and imaginary situations. The purpose of the situational syllabus is to teach language that occurs in the situation which are relevant to the present or future needs of the students and prepare them to use the language. There are types of situational syllabus based on informational content. First is the limbo situation, concrete situation, and the mythical situation. Limbo situation is the information of a specific setting is little or unimportant. For example, the setting is at the party and the topic is the introduction. Second one is concrete situation, which is the information is specific and concrete setting and the language associated with it. For example, the setting of this situational syllabus is at the restaurant and the topic is ordering a meal. And lastly is the mythical situation. It is the information based on fictional cast characters in a fictional storyline. Situational syllabus also have advantages. First, we can consider this type of syllabus more efficient and motivating than the grammatical syllabus because it hinges around practical needs rather than the abstract analysis. Second, it is the learner-centered syllabus since it takes account of the learner and his needs. Third one, it enables the learners to behave appropriately in various social contexts. Last, it pays more attention to learners' speaking ability in the contrast to the grammatical syllabus. Situational syllabus have disadvantages. First, it is less appropriate for the students of grammar English. Second, grammar is dealt with incidentally. And lastly, does not provide us with clearly defined criteria for the sequencing of teaching items.
Syllabus design can be defined as selection and organization of instructional content including suggested strategy for presenting content and evaluation. Okay, the next approach is topical syllabus. This syllabus is built around certain topics and themes such as drugs, travels, religious persuasion, advertising, modern architecture, sports, and many more. The topic-based textbook units starts with a variety of exercise that stimulates students' interest and develop the students' ability to manipulate the language appropriate to the situation. The rest of the topical unit includes activities that elaborate the theme, such as key ideas including cultural, cross-cultural, and linguistic, listening comprehension such as reading, writing, and vocabulary. Some advantages of topical syllabus includes facilitate comprehension, increasing the use of authentic materials, and addressing students' needs and motivate them. The next approach is competency-based syllabus. Okay, what is competency-based syllabus? This type of syllabus emphasizes the development of the ability to do competence and tasks by students in the mastery of knowledge, abilities, attitudes, and interests of students in order to be able to do something in the form of skill with full responsibility. Competency-based syllabus is an approach to education that focuses on the student's demonstration of desired learning outcome as central in the teaching-learning process. It is important in competency-based by learner to demonstrate knowledge, skills, and professional behavior in the same setting, not each on its own, or in isolation. This means that the design of the curriculum should enable the use of teaching and learning methods that fulfill the role. Moreover, this type of syllabus concerns chiefly with the students' progression through curriculum at their own pace, depth, etc. As competencies are proven, students continue to progress. A key characteristic of competency-based learning is its focuses on mastery. In a competency-based learning system, students are not allowed to continue until they demonstrated mastery of the identified learning competencies, which is the desired learning outcomes to be demonstrated. Okay, let me show you the advantages of competency-based syllabus. Some of the advantages of competency-based syllabus are relevant learning materials, flexible learning process, highly motivated students, empowered and confident students, suitable for adult learner, ample of student support provided, support students' diverse background, and experience provided.
Our next approaches of syllabus design is a text-based syllabus. Who among you has background knowledge on it? Oops. Please refrain from chorus, class. So, may I request you, Sheena? Very good. Precisely, Sheena. It involves explicit teaching of the structure of different text types and an instructional strategy in which me, as your teacher, introduces the text and its purpose as well as its features. So how about you, Mr. Schiffer? Yes, indeed. It guides students through the production of text through the process of scaffolding. Yes. So, to wrap it up, text-based syllabus is an instructional strategy in which the teacher introduces the text and its purpose features that guides students through the production of text through the process of scaffolding. Scaffolding is the bridge. We tackled that in our what subject? In value subject, the social learning theory of Vygotsky. The scaffolding, the more knowledgeable other, the zone of proximal development. Take note, students, that a text-based syllabus focuses primarily on the product of learning rather than the process involved. That's all, students. Next, we will going to tackle the elements of the syllabus design. So the next approaches of syllabus design is a skill-based syllabus. So the term skill in language teaching is generally being used to designate one of the four modes of language. And these are the reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So the working definition of skill for this is a specific way of using language that combines structural and functional ability but exists independently. It is a specific way defining the content of language teaching. Class, who among you know the purpose of the skill-based syllabus from defining the four modes of language? You're raising your hand, Mr. Tan. Very good. The purpose of skill-based syllabus is to learn a specific language skills, to develop more general competence in the language. Any additional information, Mr. Ralph? Absolutely. It develops more general competence in the language. Learning only incidentally any info that may be available while applying the language skills. So, we proceed to another approaches of syllabus design. I will ask one of you, or random picking. to give examples for reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So, who among you has information, example for reading skills? You, Miss Ella? Very good. So, reading skills, examples are scanning and skimming. Do you know what are the difference between scanning and skimming? Yes. So, we tackled that in our Philippine subject. The scanning and skimming, the difference of it. How about in writing? Examples on writing skills. Miss Sheena. Very good. Writing skills examples are writing memos. Memos, research reports, research proposal, work outputs, or any discourse. How about speaking skills, Miss Ira? Miss Ira? Very good. Speaking skills are delivering public talks, giving instructions also. And also, when we have M-Talk. Next is the listening skills. Who among you has the knowledge on listening skills? Miss May? Very good. Listening skills are getting information from telephone, cell phone, listening to radio broadcasts, or also taking orders. Taking orders when you have a drive-thru, when you go to drive-thru McDo. So, our next discussion is another approaches of syllabus design, which is the text-based syllabus.
I know your brain is full of different types of syllabus already, so to not waste your remaining brain cells, let's tackle about integrated syllabus. So Emily, please read what you got in the Google about integrated syllabus.
6 types of syllabus content have already been defined and described as ideal or isolated types. In actual teaching settings, of course, it is rare for one type of syllabus or content to be used exclusively for other types. Syllabus or content types are usually combined in more or less integrated ways, with one type as the organizing basis around which the others are arranged and related. For example, many foreign language courses are organized around a structural syllabus with each unit or chapter focusing on several grammatical features, focus, and organization. Accompanying the grammatical focus, however, are other types of content, usually situational, dialogues, and functional, how to introduce yourself.
That's a great assignment to you, Emily. That's all for integrated syllabus. Next meeting, be ready for a long quiz, study all the concepts that we discussed, and have a good day, everyone.
There is 8 principles of syllabus design. First is provide a way to reach out to student. Second is establish positive tone. And the third one is define student and instructor responsibilities. The fourth one is help students assess their readiness. Next, situate the course in a broader context for learning. And the sixth one is communicate the ways technology will be used in the course. And next is enable students to see the scope of learning as well as its ordered sequence. And lastly, engage the instructor in setting clear student learning outcomes which help clarify the purpose of the curriculum to students.
Next discussion for today is the elements of syllabus design. So, who among you has the background knowledge on it or any questions before we proceed to the discussion? Thank you. I'm glad you asked that on what goes into a learning-centered syllabus and how we design a syllabus. So, Thank you for that question, Miss Sheena. As we begin to design our syllabus or your syllabus in the future, and more specifically your learning outcomes, activities, assessments, here are the 3 questions to keep in mind. First, is it linked to the life of the learner? Is it challenging yet attainable? Does it inspire both teacher and learner? With those thoughts in mind, here are the components or elements of the syllabus design of this learning-centered syllabus rather. So number 1 is the basic information. From the word itself, basic information, it is a basic info that composed of the name of the course, the code number of the course, the contact number, the code number rather, the location, the credit hours, and the semesters. Next is the instructor information. So instructor rather, it is you can put the school location. For example, the MMSU, put there the address of the school, and the hours, the appointment, scheduling, and the contact information of you as a teacher. Next is the prerequisites. So the prerequisites includes the courses, the knowledge or skills of the students. Next is the text and materials. Here are the list of the required textbooks. Also technology or another computer simulations, right? Like PDF, Word, modules, also a YouTube link can also be included here. Next is the course description. It is a summary of what the course covers, and more specifically detailed. It is more detailed than a short catalog descriptions to give the complete picture of what will be discussed in this syllabus. Next is the course purpose. Yes. Course purpose is the explanation of why students should take this course and how it is relevant to the life of a student. Next will be the learning outcomes. The learning outcomes should be 3 to 5 learning outcomes, and it should be linked to the life of the learner and students. It should be challenging yet attainable. Next is the learning goals, wherein it is a space for students to record their own goals and hopes for this course. Next is the classroom procedures. Procedures means it is at a systematic, yes. It is a lesson proper on how you deliver your lessons. So it is a classroom procedures, a summary of basic routines and learning activities for the course. How you will assess students' knowledge and skills. Next is the participation. Of course, we need the participation. It is an explanation of how we expect you students to participate in our class and how should you prepare on it. Next is the study habits and hints. It is a helpful tips and hints for students on how to get most of your course. Next is the grading procedures. Grading procedures, quantitative, right? It is an explanation of the breakdown of each student's course, the quiz, on how you weigh your scores and percentages. Next is the assignment descriptions. Of course, we will include that in our syllabus because so that we have the mental rehearsal on what will be our assignment for this, our agreement for the next class, right? Next is the course schedule. It is a calendar of the class, the dates of our meeting sessions. Lastly is the course policies. Here, you will include the the policy statements and standards of the university, the college, and the department. So that's it for our lesson for today. I hope you learned something. You learned a lot in our discussion.
Hey, I'm on vacation every single day, cause I love my occupation. Hey, I'm on vacation. If you don't like your life, then you should go and